Siamo a Miami per provare il nuovo motore.
We are in Miami to try the new Mercury engine, the 3.4-litre V6 for 175, 200 and 225 horsepower.
Quando l'industria produce un nuovo motore,
When the industry turns out a new engine, I expect it to be better than all the previous ones. Otherwise, why bother building it? So why did they do it this way? What I mean is, why have they built an engine with such a large displacement? I'll explain when we carry out our navigation test.
Intanto diamo un'occhiata al design, sicuramente rivoluzionario. Lo fanno in 4.
Meanwhile, let's take a look at the design. It certainly is revolutionary. It comes in 4 different colours, 3 shades of white and, naturally, Mercury black. The back plate can be chosen from 4 different colours, or they give it rough, ready to be painted as you like. But there is something even more interesting, and that is this small door.
Qui è facilissimo.
Here, it is very easy to check and even replace the engine oil.
Siamo al minimo, con 2 motori.
We are at minimum speed with 2 200 horsepower engines running, but do you hear them? They are very silent. There is only a rumble which lets us imagine their power. And now, let's see.
Per provare questi nuovi motori abbiamo scelto
To
un'imbarcazione.
try these new engines, we chose an American center console built by Blackfin, the 242.
Si tratta di un 24 piedi
It
e
is
mezzo.
24.5 feet, ideal for sport fishing.
Per prima cosa devo dirvi che mi piace questo sound.
First, I have to tell you that I like this sound. When you have 6-cylinder engines, it really is something else. I don't know if you know what it's like to drive a car with a similar engine, and with a boat, you have 2, so it's even better.
Meglio. Il suono è pieno, corposo.
The sound is full-bodied, and vibrations, well, there aren't any, because the mechanics are perfect.
E poi questi motori
These engines also have a feature that makes them very different from the others. It's large displacement.
Il fatto è che quando si
The fact is that when you build an engine with a large volume, it also increases the weight because it increases the material. And instead here, they manage to maintain a lower weight than others.
in questo momento sto navigando a quell'andatura alla quale non bisognerebbe navigare, cioè una velocità che
Right now I'm travelling at a speed which you should avoid. It is the speed between displacement and planing. What does that mean? It means the time between when the boat is completely immersed in the water and when the water pressure, produced by the speed, tends to make it climb or rise out, to make it plane, basically. It's a situation that the engines don't like, and they often tend to change their speed. They slow down when the boat cannot exit the water, and instead they increase suddenly when the boat starts to plane.
ma Mercury ha realizzato un sistema.
But Mercury has created a system that automatically controls the regime of the engines. So when you encounter a wave, when you turn, or when you are in this intermediate phase, well, the engine doesn't change its speed. It keeps it constant.
È importante? Diciamo che è una sensazione molto piacevole.
Is that important? Let's say it's a very pleasant feeling, very comfortable, and you don't have to act on the gas continuously to dose it if you want to keep such a difficult pace. So unpleasant for the boat.
Cominciamo a dare qualche dato di navigazione. Stiamo procedendo alla
Let's hear some navigation data. We are proceeding to 2,700 RPM. The speed is 15 knots and the fuel consumption is less than 20 litres per hour for each engine.
Mercury ha introdotto un'altra innovazione su questi.
Mercury has introduced another innovation on these outboards. It is a system that, through a probe, controls exactly the carburation in the combustion chamber.
Perché? Perché è importante smagrirla.
Why? Because it is important to regulate it when the speed of the boat is constant. That is, to remove a little gas from the airflow. In this way, the stoichiometric ratio changes in favour of consumption.
La barca non rallenta, prosegue la
The boat does not slow down, continues at a constant speed, but slowly. slowly decreases the supply of fuel, and in this way you save fuel, especially at cruising speeds.
Ok, prendete nota. 3.000 giri, 40 litri.
Okay, take note. 3,000 RPM, 40 litres per hour, 20 knots. We are basically consuming 2 litres per mile of navigation, with 400 horsepower.
E quello che ascoltate è soprattutto il rumore del vento.
And what you hear is mostly the noise from the wind and water, not the engines, which are far away, are very, very quiet.
Hanno lavorato tantissimo per contenere la rumorosità, hanno creato questa calandra particolarmente.
They worked so hard to contain the noise, they created this particularly compact and sophisticated grille. And then they made the intake manifolds tuned to more frequencies, so as to eliminate those that are irritating to the ear. Not just one, but a range of frequencies. And finally, they also put covers on the injectors, because those produce a high-frequency noise which is rather difficult to remove with soundproofing.
Ora, siccome sono
Now, as they are Mercury and the tradition of this builder being what it is, we cannot keep them at this regime. Let's speed up.
questa è merda.
This is a Mercury. Here we go, a hint of gas and she takes off. The boat extends and I have the urge to give a little trim to make it feel lighter on the water and let it fly.
Oh, ecco qua, 30 nodi.
Oh, here it is, 30 knots, 3,700 revolutions per minute, and we are less than 60 litres per hour total, still 2 litres per mile.
Più do gas.
The more gas I give, the more these engines seem to differ from others.
Ecco, siamo arrivati a 35 nodi, 4.200.
But here we are at 35 knots, 4,200 RPM. Well, we are around 70 litres per hour. As always, 2 litres per mile. But how?
E ora stiamo piacevolmente.
And now we are pleasantly sailing at a speed of 40 knots, with engines that consume a total of 100 litres per hour. Don't we also want to know what the maximum speed of this boat is? Or rather, the maximum consumption of these engines? Let's go to full speed.
Oh, non male.
Not bad at all. Engines at 5,500 RPM, speed 48 knots and consumption 135 litres per hour total.
Adesso voglio fare ancora una prova. Metto la barca in rotta.
Now I want to try one more thing. Put the boat on course at a cruising speed of 30 knots and start turning. The engines are at 3,500 RPM.
Siamo nel mezzo della virata. La velocità è scesa.
We are in the middle of the turn. The speed has dropped to 27 knots. The engines hold 3,500 RPM. Here, this is the automatic control system that I was talking about before. The speed obviously fell because the boat is turning. Return en route, the regime returns to the format and the speed also. Fantastic.
Qual è la differenza? Beh, è che
What is the difference? Well, it is that, all in all, these systems make navigation more comfortable, more enjoyable. And all in all, this engine has so much grit that it deserves to be installed on even the most important boats.